Welcome to another episode of last week's Comics Today. I have a relatively short stack of comics here. We're going to start this week with Duke, which wins the prize for shortest read of the week. I think this only took 4 minutes to read. It's action heavy, but there's one in the sequence that I wish were slightly different. Here's it. 2 pages with no words. But there's this sequence here with these two guys walking, and then somebody puts this down, and I'm like, their hands are all visible except for this one, and I don't think he's holding this, because right here, again, all of their hands are visible. What the hell is this? And then I saw this, and then this, and like the next page reveals what's happening. But I wish there were some slight differentiation between these, so that it weren't as, at least for me, I was confused. But anyway, Duke remains on the run, and there's a last page that I think is going to set up for a very interesting third issue. Again, it doesn't resolve my issue with Transformers and the months-long jump between that and this, but nobody believes that giant robots are on Earth. Okay. I want an answer to that. This panel, I love. Fantastic. This one's great too. But yeah, Duke gets captured. Spoilers. And he winds up. I don't know where this is going. I feel like after Duke, there should be, and I think they even mentioned that there would be an ongoing G.I. Joe series at some point. I don't know what that looks like yet, because this Duke does not seem like he's going to be the leader of people that are currently hunting him down. And for some reason, I swear CoverGirl was in the first issue, but she's not here, which I don't know what's happening. I thought she was with Stalker and Rock and Roll as part of the Recover Duke team, but she's not. So I don't know. I'll keep going. It's not the greatest. That's coming later in this file, but it's still enjoyable. It's only problem is it costs about $1 per minute. World's Finest Annual. Now there's a bunch of names here, and the first one I'm going to say is the best. It's the one with the mites, and I don't know what Cullen Bunn's contribution to this is, but it is a very fun read. We've got this guy who's a combination of both Green Lantern and Green Arrow. I think that's fantastic. But we've got all of these, and it's really fun and funny, and I'm interested to see where this goes, because it ends with these guys and this and whoever that is. Bunch of capes, cloak. The rest of this, Metamorpho is also good. This is a good story. Don't remember who wrote this. There's a credits page there. So Culver wrote that. I then skipped the Bumblebee story. I don't think I like Stephanie Williams. Don't think so. And I started it and just I couldn't finish it. And then this Challenges of the Unknown, they had shown up, I believe, earlier in the World's Finest series, and something does seem to be building, but this is also not a great story. So of the 4, half of it's good. This just reminded me a lot of the Cave Carson has a cybernetic eye stuff, which is weird, but this doesn't work the same way. They keep just saying, what is it, the time is now, and it just, I don't know if that's a callback to something, but it reminds me of the repetitive nature of Darkseid is, and it just doesn't work for me. But there's a lot of weird, vague, ambiguous stuff going on with the Challenges of the Unknown, and to me, none of it works. This story just fundamentally didn't work for me. So it seems like, because these characters have been recurring in the World's Finest series that it's building up toward something, and I'm not sure what that is yet, but Metamorpho is good. The Bat-Mite Mixoplick stuff is also great, and then there are 2 other stories as well. Dark Ride issue 10, this is ending with issue 12, so things are really starting to move now, and there's no holding back. Things have been revealed as far as what has happened, what is currently happening, and we get a look at this guy, who I really hope shows up, because that's going to be terrifying, while also being amazing. But we've got some brother-sister rivalry stuff going on, and as I said, the story is certainly moving along now. So all of this is great. It will make for a great collection. I thought it might run longer, something like Birthright, which I was just watching a Todd McFarlane interview where he was recalling a story where he's talking to Eric Stevenson about how many, or how few really, Image series get to issue 50, and I'm pretty sure Birthright was one of those, and I didn't think about it until a couple of weeks after I saw that video. But yes, I guess I was expecting a series on the length of Birthright, and maybe that's, you know, on me for expecting that, for assuming something, but I thought the series would run for longer, and it's 12 issues, so make of that what you will. I think it's good. I recommend it. I do think Birthright is better. Coda, issue 5. This is the end of the latest miniseries, subtitled False Dawns, which I only learned about within the last month when pages for this series were being sold through Bergara's art dealer. And I'm like, what is False Dawns? Is that an upcoming thing? No, it doesn't say anywhere else. I don't know that it said it here, because I looked down here at one point and it didn't say anything. Anyway, mild confusion. This does wrap up the story, and this is just perfection. I loved everything. I immediately want to reread the entire series. I will definitely be getting the collection of this once this come out, so that I have the option to reread it in one easy, convenient format. Just because there are things in here, specifically this moon here that's in the background, that I maybe missed references to earlier, but plays an important role here, and it's just so incredibly well done. Coda, the original 12-issue series, is one of the best comic series that I've read in the past decade, and this continues that trend. It's just spectacular. I love it. Cannot praise it enough. Cannot recommend it enough. I hope that you try this. I hope that these two continue with Coda, because it is some of the best work from Spurrier that I've ever read, and Bergara is just, his work is beautiful. It's amazing. I love it. I would like more. Please do more. Crashdown actually came out last week, and I didn't get it at the time, but I picked it up this week, and I have a suggestion for, I believe, the writers, but possibly Temple Smith as well. So we get this, we get some people on a ship. We then get these two splash pages, and this is where I think this should have been done in one page, so that this could be on a page turn. I know I brought up page turn reveals for the Midnight Show, specifically the first issue, so this would have been 4 or 5 months ago. But we get some people on a ship, right? We then see they are on a world somewhere with a storm above the water, and then we get to this where something goes wrong. There's a crash, things go black, and then at the same time, because it's a 2-page, you know, we can see that this is happening. As soon as we turn the page from this to this, my eye went here, And then I backtrack to, how did we get to here? This should have been over here, so that when I turn the page, what I got is this. And for that, I'm going to blame the writer, although I think Templesmith could have exerted some control over, I don't know. Anyway, that should have been a page turn reveal. This should have been the end of that page. Anyway, it's a sci-fi series. People on an alien world. We get some Templesmith tentacles. If you've read his other work, you're probably familiar with Templesmith tentacles. But the Earth is in trouble, as it usually is. And we have a crew of people that go to another planet. There's a cryo sleep situation, and they get to this other planet and then immediately see tentacles and a ship crashes. And I think this is only I don't remember how many issues this is. 3, 5, somewhere in there. Honestly, not that much happens in the first issue, so I'm curious to see where things go in the next few, because it doesn't feel like something that's going to wrap up. But I could easily be wrong. I frequently am. There is a collection for Miss Truesdale and the Fall of Hyperborea. This has been on my list seemingly like Grey Mouser for months. I think it was being delayed, but I finally have it in my hands now, and it is a fantastic read. I don't think I'm doing a separate video on this. It would just be me gushing about how great it is. It is legitimately great. I was unfamiliar with Jess Lonergan. I did look him up, and he did the Hedra a couple of years ago for Image, and then self-published earlier than that. But I remember the cover with all of the squares and the spaceship thing. I did not read that, but now I'm curious to see what else he's done, because this is pretty spectacular. Right from the first page, there's this sort of, I don't mean this in a derogatory way, it usually is used that way, but there's this sort of splotchy coloring style that I enjoy. Gives everything texture. I think it looks great. But we get this, clearly, Hyperborean tale, and it ties into the Heliopic Brotherhood of Ra. Ties in a bunch with them and the Hyperborean stuff that Hellboy and BPRD have been doing on and off for years. The art, as I said, is just spectacular. But also the story is incredible. I loved everything about this. We get these two guys who also have been recurring. These are the guys in Hell. So they show up as well. But it's really just pretty incredible. Basically, McNolan now has his own version of Red Sonja in the Hellboy universe. And it ties into other stuff that he's done, because there is a recurring dragon, and this also features an origin for the Right Hand of Doom, which is just, it's incredible. Just, there's a denseness to this, but also a few pauses for reflection. We get this thing going on. It's just top to bottom, front to end. It's incredibly well crafted. It's an incredible read, and I highly recommend it. Lastly, there is Somna, issue 2. This is a bedtime story. And much like the first issue, there's a switching going on between the main character's waking and dream life, and just two incredible artists in Clunin and Lotte. I think it's less clear, because the first issue, it seemed pretty clear that Lotte was illustrating all of the dream stuff and Clunin was illustrating the waking. And that's probably still true here. However, things do get quite blurry, and it's just incredibly well done. There is still sex in this. I don't think I've flipped past anything that Dan's going to have to blur. But this wins for longest read, I think. of the week. It's oversized in every dimension, and it's really well done. This is the runner-up for pick of the week after Coda. It's a great read. It's gorgeous to look at. Both of their arts styles are incredible and effective, and it's the combination doesn't seem like it would work, but it absolutely does. And I'm going to stop there before I get to any more exposed breasts or other things. Miss Truesdale, I was having a very bad night last night, and in order to not crush my mouse into a fine powder or to launch it through a wall, I stopped what I was doing and read Miss Truesdale, and that calmed me down. It is, again, just an excellent work. Crashdown, I'll probably get issue 2, but it's less, I don't know. There was a bunch of hype around this after it came out. I wasn't too sure about getting it beforehand, which is why I didn't initially, and then I'm like, well, I'll check it out, because, again, a small week, and it's okay. It's not setting me on fire or anything. Coda is simply incredible, always recommended, and then the rest of this stuff also exists. So this is everything that I got this week. As always, I get my books from a local comic shop. My thanks to Berg for putting up with me. If you don't know where yours is, you can use this URL to find one closest to you. Thanks for watching.